My master always said, you start with the self inquiry. There are only two things in the world, the rest are expansion of these two things. When you say individual consciousness, real self, Brahman, God, or God consciousness, that is the part of the self, the different manifestation. The second is the matter, not self. Not self is part of the material world. 108 elements, 5 elements, body, mind, intellect, and the ego. My master used to say, start the journey of self inquiry. What you are and what you are not. Based on that, you should ask a right question. Even when the master says there is a true nature, should I believe it? Should I believe it blindly? Is there a role of the blind belief in the journey of the self-discovery or meditation? The answer is no. The big question is, can I transcend the mind and enter into the higher state of meditation that inspires us to undertake a journey? And it took me many years to understand that. Why should I believe that there is a real self? Question is, why shouldn't I believe that there is a real self? Because the master is saying, and my master had no interest at all in anything. He never gave an indirect answer that you donate me this much and then I will show you where is the real self. You know, the link between the self and the non-self. And that master cannot be a real guru. So first, my master said, yes, there is a true nature, there is a Satchidanand, absolute existence, consciousness, and bliss. That is your goal, to realize that. And let us start understanding. So he used the word believe it, now inquire it. First you start with that belief and now inquire whether that real self is there or not. He never said, if you prostrate before me, if you touch my feet every day 500 times, or if you use that mantra or this mantra. That is what I realize, a pointer to a real guru. So when we start the inquiry, we understand that there are many layers of the mind that causes the ignorance, reaction, hesitation, which needs to be removed first. We need to culture the mind. And he used to say, what do you mean by transcending the mind is meditation or mindfulness? Why you start building and dreaming and visualizing which does not exist? So he was totally against any kind of imagination, hallucinations. He said, when you start with a reason, pending reasoning, whether while believing that there is a real nature, what is happening? The intellect becomes active. In our tradition, we say, when the intellect is clear, pure, simple, it becomes manisha. Manisha is a special name of the intellect. And that Manisha always moves in Satoguna. And the Satoguna is always focused on knowledge and happiness. Nothing less than that, nothing more than that. So if that intellect is focused on the knowledge of the happiness, it will not allow the mind to get carried away by any hesitation, craving, passion, pleasure seeking in the world outside. What will happen to the mind? Mind will stop wandering. Once there is a clarity in the head, why the mind will wander? So now when there is a clarity and the purity of the mind, that mind transcends naturally. That mind transcends at every moment, because the entire perception of the world outside changes. And that perception is known as the third eye. You cannot have a third eye placed horizontally or vertically. What will happen? You will distort even the normal perception. If it is vertical, you will see me, I'm not 6 feet, but I'm maybe 12 feet. And if you put it horizontally, I'll be stretched out horizontally. So that's not a physical eye. That right perception, what Buddha says, or the belief pending inquiry leads to a knowledge, that is the right knowledge, which gives us a clear understanding. So what happens? When we start with the inquiry, we filter out what is not desired in the practice, in the journey of meditation or mindfulness. You don't what is not desired, your garbage. You put the things there and throw it out. You never even think of it. How that comes to you? Because of clarity of your knowledge, you filter out. That is the real inquiry. When you filter out everything, that intellect is purified, becomes Manisha, and the Manisha leaves the mind in a natural state. Natural state of the mind can only transcend and enter into the state of meditation.